Okay, so we're holding in the Akdam, and this is the 8th segment so far, and we're on the second page, page Vav, the last paragraph, right before the end of the page, the Ayin Ramban. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is a response, again, he's talking about that the Holocaust was caused by Zionism, and people are going to ask, well, so only a few Jews were doing the Aveira of Zionism, so how could you say that millions of people suffered for the Aveira of a few people? So this is a new answer to that. Now before, in the paragraph starting Mavur, he had a couple of truths to that. He said it could be that for a Shvuah the whole world suffers, and it could be people weren't Moicha Karoi, they didn't protest, and any Purani Yisrael Min Tzadikim. But now he's going to say a new teretz, based on the Ramban on the Parshas Ho'egel. Okay, V'ayin Ramban Parshas Tisa, B'chama Psukim Sheba'avoin Ho'egel, on many psukim that have to do with the Chet Ho'egel. And this in particular is the Ramban on Shmois, Lamed Beis, Zayin, and Ches, which is by the Aveira of the Egel. That those people who actually bowed down and actually brought karbanis to the Egel, there were only a few of them.
Were they all dancing for the most part?
That's what he's saying now. Only a few people were doing this.
Really?
So why did Hashem
cause them to sin?
Right. So why did Hashem get angry at the whole Jewish people? He says most of the people just sinned in their thoughts.
How does the Ramban know this?
He's saying a pshat in the pasuk. He's saying, explaining it. That's why Hashem's anger was upon them. And Hashem said to Moshe, and then he said, I'm going to destroy them and make you a great nation. And why was that the case? Because Hashem saw that in their thoughts they all agreed with it, even though they didn't actually do it. Upirish oid divrei akasuv. So that's why when it says in the end of the Parashas Ho'egel, it says Vayigoif Hashem es ha'am al asher astu es ho'egel, that Hashem punished the people because they made the egel. So l'chayra, what's going on? They not too many people made the egel, only a few people did. He says that this doesn't refer to the actual people who sacrificed to it. These were the people that made it. What does it mean made it? That they gathered themselves around Aaron, they said Kuma Selan Elohim, and they brought the gold jewelry to Aaron, and that's why they're considered the making the egel, even though they didn't do anything with it. He brings down the Targum that says Al Ishtabdu Egla. Asher Astu Eso Egel means that they were Nishtabed Egel, which the Ramban says means, by the way, that they hugged and kissed the Egel. But
what? They hugged and kissed it?
Yeah. So he's saying that they weren't Mishtachaveh, they didn't actually do Avodah Zarah.
But isn't also the hug and kiss an idol too?
Not if it's not Avodah B'chach, it's not part of Avodah Zarah. It's not technically Avodah Zarah, but it shows that that's you approve of it. So that's
there was Avodah Zarah, which was worship by hugging and kissing. That actually.
So if that's taka the Avodah B'chach, then it's Chayav Misa. But here we're talking that there was an egel, it wasn't Avodah B'chach, but they did it. They showed that they approved of it. So the Targum, he's trying to bring a ride. The Targum is like what he's saying. It's not exactly the same because the Ramban is saying that they contributed money. The Targum is saying that they kissed it. But the point of the same point is that they didn't actually do the Avodah Zarah, but they approved of the Avodah Zarah. So v'harei, you see from this Ramban, shaloi haya haketzef ba'avoin ho'egel. That Hashem's anger about the egel was not ba'avur muatim she'avdu le'v'maisa b'zivuch v'ishtachavaya. It wasn't just for the people, the small number of people who actually served it. El b'shvil amerubim shahayu misayin la'asiyasai. The majority of the people who helped out make it. Hein b'masha nikalu imam, either the people who joined the original gathering about Aaron, or ben nesinas hazav, where they actually contributed something, v'chadoima, ki chashvu zeh l'davar toiv, that they considered it in their heart to be a good thing, she'yeh mani gemoyer derech b'makom Moshe, that the Yidden should have a leader to replace Moshe Rabbeinu, l'shem Hashem, and they meant it for Hashem's sake, they didn't mean to replace Hashem. Ki Moshe herish pozer Ramban, like the Ramban says over there, v'ho ibn Ezra, u'balei ha'toisvis, these three Rishonim all on the beginning of Shmois, the beginning of Lamed Beis over there where the Egel starts, they all say that it wasn't a real Avodah Zarah. Ushar Rishonim and other Rishonim like Rabbeinu Bachya all say this thing. Zal. Okay? Ukemoy Kain Haya Beho Egel Amar Hazeh. So the nimshal today, the comparison to this today is that by Zionism, even though very few people actually were fighting in the army of the Zionists and carrying out terrorist attacks and actually going to Palestine, but the majority of people helped out. He says, this egel of creating a country before the coming of Mashiach, that many years before that the idea had started, when the Zionist Congress started in 1897, and aggressive actions were taken. I found them showing in many different ways to facilitate being over on the Shavuos. Most of the Jewish people from all different parties, they all became the means to help this happen. Even among the good Jews, the Charedische, the Frum Yidden, the Aguda, let's say he's talking about the Aguda now, even the Aguda who fought against the Zionists, because of what they did to uproot and to destroy Torah, Uminus Kfir and their apikoresis, their atheism, Rahman Lislan, but regarding their main idea, the main idea of the Zionist movement, which is not the kfira and the other stuff that they did, and the uprooting Torah and stopping observance, but the etzem idea of Zionism, which is to go out free from Galus, and creating a state before Mashiach. That's the ikar poisonous root of what Zionism is. And that aspect, many from Jews, many Agudists were pulled along with it. That the Yetzer Hara, who blinds the eye, is very powerful. They didn't pay attention, they didn't think it through. And they became accessories to this crime. From many people from all parts of the Jewish people. Some of them with actions, some of them with speech. I find them showing him and showing him in various different ways, which he could be referring to the fact that Aguda, they put political pressure on the British also. There were Agudists who met with the British government, and there was the white paper in 1939 when the British didn't let too many Yidden into Palestine. The Aguda joined in the protests, and they joined in the boycotts. So the strikes that they carried out in Palestine. So there was participation from the Aguda in these things. Asher tach eineihem merois ki b'nafsham hu, and they were too blind to see that it was going to cost people their lives. Ve'ein b'rtzoni laharich b'frat zeh. I don't want to go on at length here to explain this openly, but one who thinks about it could know the truth. Now, if you look in the biography of the Rebbe, which is called Moshe and Shal Yisrael, turn to page 3 here. This is volume 7 of Moshe and Shal Yisrael. He speaks about what happened right before the war. In 1937, there was the Knesset Gedolah of Aguda, at which they discussed for the first time the issue of Medina. And of course they didn't come out in favor of it. They came out that we opposed the Peel partition plan. But from that time onwards, Yidden in Poland became very Zionistic. And he looks, he says, that this caused Zionism to spread among the people of Aguda in Poland. In the Hasidic sections of Poland. The newspapers of the Aguda, they didn't start printing Zionist articles. The Deus Koisvos, that they encouraged people to go up to Palestine and make a Medina, and to fight with the Arabs, even to fight against the government of England, who had given in to the pressure of the Arabs, and they stopped honoring the Balfour Declaration. Now really that's not true, because the Balfour Declaration was not meant to say that there's going to be a state. It just said a Jewish home, and the Zionists, the British claimed in 1939, they said, look, we created a Jewish home. We brought 600,000 Jews to Palestine, 500,000, whatever it was. that's it. We have a Jewish homeland. They didn't mean that it should be a state that's governed by Jews. In any case, and they started to give fewer certificates out. I think it was 15,000 per year during the war years when the Jews needed them the most. Because that mass aliyah that had been taking place in the 30s was getting the Arabs very nervous, and that's why they made this uprising from 36 to 39, and that's why the British stopped letting them in. Now, skip a paragraph down to paragraph Rabbeinu Zal. Omar Oz, the Rebbe said at that time, 1937, Shehu Choishes Sherayonis Hatzionis Shepalshu LePoland Misham Lemdinas Acheres BeEuropa Dein Garmal Oines Shagal Shalvar LaShuas. That they would lead, the fact that these ideas of Zionists had spread so much in Poland would lead to the terrible punishment for being over on the Shavuos. I'm not sure if he means the Rebbe said this at the time in 1937. That would be pretty amazing. Could be he means that what the Rebbe said in the Hakdama here, that because of the fact that everybody became accessories to the sin, even the Aguda, even the Ksherim should be Israel, that's what caused this Oynish to come. And he goes on here and he says that right after the Knesset Gedolah, a few months later, in 1938, Germany annexed Austria, and then right after that, two years later, the actual war broke out. So that's the end of this section.